There, beautiful people. Hi, my name is Lisa, and today we're going to talk a little bit about a book I came across recently. This book has been around for a while, and I know many people love it. And the book I'm talking about is Robin Sharma's The Monk That Sold His Ferrari. Is a very nice read just before bedtime. It just puts you in a good mood, good dreams. And what is it about is just a lawyer that has a heart attack, and after recovering, he decides to sell everything and go to India, where he haphazardly finds a group of sages that teach him their ways, that they've been doing it for millennia. And after embodying that wisdom, he comes back to the West to share it with the only friend he had in the law firm he used to work. And it's the way the wisdom is imparted is just a very casual conversation, and all of the wisdom is contained in a simple fable with seven symbols that just symbolize seven virtues you could embody in your life if you choose to. So the first symbol is a lush garden. And what that lush garden kind of symbolizes is your mind. You choose if you want to keep that lush garden growing, or just let it perish by the thoughts that you think, by the emotions that you have, by the information you allow it to enter. You are the gatekeeper. And it's your choices that influence how that garden kind of feels and looks. And the second symbol is a lighthouse that is regarding following your purpose. So a lighthouse usually guides you, right? Guides the sailors back to the port safely, and it just is that beacon of light that that shows you step by step the way. You might not see every step, which is for sure, but you do feel the presence and the pull actually towards that. The third symbol is a big sumo wrestler, which symbolizes self-mastery. I love this phrase because I love it better than being the best version of yourself, because it implies that you're not your best and you're never gonna be your best, which is not true. Self-mastery is more permissive of whichever state you're in at the moment, more accepting, and it's just continuous self-learning. Me working in IT, I see it as rewriting your user manual by the experiences you have, by who you choose to be, by the challenges you face, and yeah, it's just continuously challenging yourself to be more of yourself, I think. And in the book, he shares 10 rituals, which daily rituals, which you can do in order to kind of feed and kind of grow yourself. And these rituals aren't anything that you haven't heard before, but we still don't do most of them consciously. There are people that do them. Hats off to them. And it's just that bit by bit by bit by bit action, little small steps that you take. It just, you don't realize it in the moment, but it just, at some point you're just like, wow, I came so far. And the rituals are, the first one is the ritual of solitude, which could be meditation or just quiet time by yourself before starting the day, which I think is very, very much necessary. It's just, you're taking time for yourself before you give to everybody else, so it is very, very special. The second ritual is the ritual of physicality, which we all know we should exercise. I'm very well aware of that, but still, not every day that I do that. The second one is the ritual of life nourishment. What he means by that is just not necessarily going vegan right now or raw vegan or whatever. It's just adding more live plants and fruits to your diet. We've heard it before. It's not that it's brand new and wow. We know there are a lot of things that we know we should do, but he explains in more detail why we should do it, which is, I think understanding the why is more important than knowing what you need to do. The third one is the ritual of abundant knowledge, and what that means is continuous learning and being picky about what you put, sort of, say, in your garden. It does help change your perspective, so choose wisely. The third one is the ritual of self-reflection. I myself, I'm lacking on this one a little bit. It's not a daily occurrence, which I think it should be. Well, it should be. It's good to have that incorporated in your day. Just, it keeps you accountable for the times you weren't necessarily reacting in a good way towards other people and yourself, and it just keeps you aware of you repeating certain things. The third one is the ritual of early awakening. I have much trouble with this one, to be honest. I'm not a very early riser. I recently got a cat, and she's become my clock, so there have been days I've woken up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m., so it's kind of, my wish came true, sort of way, yeah. And one other ritual would be the ritual of music, which is just, yeah, I don't know, I can't explain. There's no day without music. It's just, yeah. But to each his own. Just allowing some playtime, I think. if music isn't your jam, it could be drawing, it could be painting, it could be writing, just doing something artistic, or using the other half of your brain, not just for tasks and things to do. It's just playtime, you know. And another one would be the ritual of a spoken word, which in the book he mentions mantras. Mantras are things that you repeat to yourself over and over again. I do believe in order to counteract a lot of the negative behavior we picked up as children, you need to balance it out, and mantras are a good starting point. Just it influences your self-talk as well, because we all know we don't talk in the best way with us when we mess up, and I just it changes it, because to be honest, we all need a bit more support from ourselves to begin with. Yeah. The ritual of congruent character is the next one. And that's just embodying certain virtues, like humility, patience, courage, honesty. The next ritual is the ritual of simplicity, and this is the last one. And just, yeah, it is a big one, because we tend to overcomplicate things in our life, our life with things, with actions that are not really necessary sometimes, but we just do it because we are used to that. So yeah, just taking a magnifying glass to your life and just simplifying things. Maybe you don't need 10 pairs of pants in the same color, or whatever it is that you tend to do, or have a lot of. So yeah. And after these rituals, the next principle of virtue is live with discipline. For me, this is a big one. Discipline isn't my strongest suit, but doesn't mean it won't be, because I do think that everything is everything you can learn, from confidence to guitar. It's just having or giving it the time to settle. And in the fable, this principle is symbolized by a wire cable. And if you have looked at a wire cable, you see there are little wires within it. So what he suggests is little acts of courage on a daily basis. Could be saying hi to someone you like, or just to a random stranger, to, I don't know, doing something that you're scared of. And it's just, it doesn't have to be humongous. It just has to be a bit of going outside your comfort zone. So bit by bit, those little wires just add up, those little actions, and you just get a bigger cable that is stronger. That's the symbol behind it. The next symbol was a stopwatch, and it just reminds us to respect our time. We do waste a lot of time on social media or TV. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's your choice. What that time leads to. That's the only thing we have, finite time. That's the only non-renewable resource, and it's just, how do you want to spend it? And the sixth symbol was a bunch of yellow roses, which here symbolize selflessly serving others. And that applies to our relationships as well, because some of us treat our relationships like give and take. I know I've done that. I give you, you have to give me something in return, which it's not truly giving, right? And just being supportive to others, being kind, being empathetic, compassionate, just serving. That is a type of serving for the other people, knowing that they have that person to go to. And the last and final symbol was a path of diamonds in the fable, which symbolizes embracing here and now, embracing the now. I know I've done this. I've either was stuck on the past or stuck on the future, and I still do that. It's not that I'm trying to preach that how perfect I am, because I'm not. But I've begun to enjoy more and more just being here and just not necessarily obsessing over things that have passed and I have no power over, and it can't be changed, and I don't have any power for future things. I do have power now to do the things that I might benefit in the future, but I don't have the power now to influence the future. So yeah, that was just a very the book was a very good reminder of life doesn't have to be so hard. We make it, we complicate it, as I told you, and just things could be simpler and just not as stressful, and usually stressing over future things is what keeps us from enjoying the moment right now, which, to be honest, it is perfect, because by the things that we've done in the past and by what we accepted or what we chose, we got here. It might not be everything we want it to be, but it's a result of our actions and our beliefs and who we were. Doesn't necessarily mean that's all it is, but we could enjoy it, accept it as it is right now, and choose what we can do in the future to change it. Thank you very much for hanging on this long. It was my first video. It took 10,000 takes until I got this one, but I'm really glad I stepped out of my comfort zone and actually filmed this. Hope you enjoy it, hope it helps in any way, and I welcome you to the Full Spectrum Vibes group on Facebook in order to go in a bit more detail through every virtue and just be accountable for have people you're accountable to going through the rituals for 30 days. Thank you and have a good night. Bye.